Lennox, good evening, gentlemen. You were both given your instructions in the dressing room. I want you to protect yourself at all times. Is there any questions from the Lewis?
Nope.
Any questions from Briggs? Both of you both of you touch gloves. Come on. Come on, come on.
Two sculpted physiques, two big heavyweights. Lewis comes out attacking, lands a right, a jab, and a little left. Briggs so far not firing. Now he fires a right hand. Fireworks early as Shannon Briggs tries to give as good as he gets against big punting Lennox Lewis. Now Lewis begins to fire the jab after coming out looking for the knockout in the first 10 seconds. Briggs firing back more aggressively than he did early on against Foreman. Briggs's movement early on has slowed down the Lewis attack. Lewis averages 35 jabs per round and wants to throw at least that many to keep Briggs off balance. Now it's Briggs who's attacking Lewis with his own jab. Shannon Briggs short with the right hand. This is the most action that anybody's mounted against Lewis since Ray Mercer in '96, and there Briggs almost knocks the champion down. Shannon Briggs believing that he has hurt Lewis on the attack. And Lewis is wobbly as Briggs chases him across the ring, and Lewis holds on.
Yeah, the earlier left hook didn't look that powerful, but apparently it stung Lewis.
What a confidence builder that round had to be for Shannon Briggs. And as round two begins, Rich.
Well, the problem was Lewis went out and tried to slug it and knock him out rather than setting his knockouts up. You get this guy a little courage, and you're going to have a fight on your hand. But you wonder whose nerves he's going to get on here. Good right hand over the top. He said it didn't hurt, but it did hurt.
Briggs, fellas, come on.
Briggs is playing to the crowd and to us. Most of those in the ringside seats are Briggs supporters.
Good left hook by Briggs.
Hard right hand over the top by Briggs.
You don't want to mix it up with this kind of guy. Win, hit, and move out of the way. Briggs should be doing.
But you can see Briggs' confidence growing as round two. But by and large, Lewis has not stuck to his fight plan, and Briggs has taken advantage in the first two rounds. And now here comes Lewis with precise punches up the middle. Hard right hand by Lewis. Caught Briggs flush. The jab sets it up for Lewis. When he starts doubling up on the jab, Briggs can't see Lewis's right hand over the top. Briggs isn't thinking body at all. He's strictly headhunting, working exclusively upstairs. At some point, Emmanuel Stewart might remind him to go to the body.
Well, Briggs is thinking each round, each minute goes by is a tick in his favor. Keep this fight going, anything can happen.
Get off his neck.
Just a pawing right. A little short with that big cross over the top. Briggs is going to waste a whole lot of energy shaking his head.
Good, mean right hand by Lennox Lewis.
Yeah, but give Briggs some credit. He's taken some very good right hands from a big puncher.
That's true. And he fires back with a left jab.
Absolutely. Right on the kisser, as we say. And another one. And it starts to become something of a boxing match.
But Lewis is standing back whenever he wants. He throws his right hand. The time he comes back with a left hook, Briggs can get up off the canvas, but he's got to throw a right hand, fake it, and come back with a hook.
Round four begins. Harold Letterman, how'd you score the first?
That was a left hook.
Yep, finally real quick to the one. Better hurry. Briggs has wobbled. Just as you said, George, when Lewis threw the left hook, that turned the tide completely.
It's going to happen with a left hook. A guy trains in training camp for right hands. You throw a left hook, you get him.
Right hand lands flush for Lewis. Briggs barely on his feet. Lennox trying to set up and finish. Can't get him down.
Every tick goes by is a tick in Shannon Briggs' favor.
Yeah, but that wasn't in Shannon Briggs' favor.
7, 8, Hey, you all right, man? Go to
Well,
work.
the referee is allowing him a little too much time.
Briggs trying to show the stiff upper lip, and Lewis trying to be patient. He's landing the right hand at will. Cappuccino is not going to allow him to keep landing the right hand at will.
Step back
Let him out,
and
Lennox.
start all over again.
Briggs is doing a better
Good
job
right
of
hand.
defending himself, but he's not holding on. Surprises Lewis with the left. Lewis's momentum stalls as Briggs is able to hold on. We're midway through the fourth. Briggs startling Lewis with the leaping left hand.
right hand.
There's another right and an uppercut. Briggs showing a lot of courage.
Lewis is a little tired himself.
When you're not throwing punches, you got to cover
Let's
up.
not play games
Left
here, man.
uppercut by Briggs, or by Lewis, I should say.
Let him out, let him out, let him out, Lennox.
Lewis trying to gather himself.
Hard left hand by Briggs. Lewis is hurt. And he comes back with his own left hook. And another right hand.
6, 7, 8.
Well, listen, this
Could've
guy
fooled me.
is trying to prove to the world that he's not a fluke. And, you know, you
He
just got to
certainly has shown a lot of courage,
Yeah.
as you say, Jim. He was accused during the Foreman fight, by us even, of not showing a lot of bravery. He is showing it here.
No 3 knockdown rule in effect. But 2 knockdowns in the round as Lewis catches Briggs. Briggs catches Lewis back, but Lewis catches Briggs again.
Let's go.
When Briggs is making a mistake, you don't want to follow a puncher around. Make the puncher follow you around.
Ever since Lewis started using the left hook and right hand leads, as you heard Emmanuel Stewart say, he's been devastatingly effective.
Every kick goes by, something can happen for Briggs.
Another right cross, another left hook. Lewis landing flush with too many power punches. Just too much punishment. Briggs popping Lewis with the left hand. Lewis almost ignoring Briggs' offense at this point as he just sets up and tries to fire power punches and get his man out of there.
Now, when you have an opponent like Briggs,
And that will be it.
4,
Shannon Briggs will not get up from that. Well,
6.
he proves me wrong.
7,
Proves me wrong.
8.
Screaming for their man. Lewis has just hit him with too many right hands, George.
yeah, bravery.
Bravery for which Briggs is going to pay.
Well, if you're in New York tonight, you can be proud. You know, this guy's shown, hey, I'm just not a... He slipped down that time.
And that's all.
Yeah, good enough, good enough.
Briggs begging Cappuccino for another chance. But he was already in the danger zone.
Let me tell you, for boxing, that was a must-have fight. This guy, Shannon Briggs, supplied to us boxing fans what we needed. When you're out, get up anyway. That's what we needed. You can say...
With Lennox Lewis, if the point of it was to win the championship, he was not ready to win the championship. It's not unusual for a guy to come out and make a fight of something for a few rounds. Maybe he has the ability to go back to the drawing board and do that. I think they're more into marketing than fighting, frankly.
Yeah, so maybe the point was to squeeze one last big paycheck out of what has been a largely trumped-up career.
In a way, yes. I mean, what we saw was perhaps what people saw in Briggs early in his career of why they would be attracted to him. But you got to put in the work, and I don't think they put in the work.
Well, as I said to George, he lacks technique, and he certainly didn't come...
They tried to make a sting. Remember, I used the term sting earlier, a con job. And at the end of the day, they got stung themselves. They settled for a nice payday here tonight instead of bringing them along patiently, where maybe one day he would have made 100 times more.
Maybe. Now, probably not, although, of course, time goes on forever and lives are long in the heavyweight division. Aren't they, George?
I'm telling you, I think that Briggs did a great job tonight. Got up off the canvas. Listen, years ago, Joe Lewis was fighting Billy Conn, and he didn't get Billy Conn didn't have Joe Lewis rattled like this guy had Lewis rattled tonight. Billy Conn will go down in history. That fight is one of the greatest fights of all time. If there weren't so many good fights around, we could do the same thing for this fight tonight. This guy got up off the canvas by a right-hand puncher. Bravery, and I don't care how many years you stay in the business, you're not going to beat. That's not going to happen.
As the wonderfully polite Shannon Briggs would say, thank you, Mr. Foreman.